There is a place within you where all the parts you've hidden, forgotten, or abandoned still breathe. A place where your memories keep their own counsel, where your fear grows teeth, and your truth grows impatient. Most people call it the shadow, but those who learn to walk its corridors, those who face the echoes they once fled, they discover that the shadow isn't a prison, it's a map, and every map leads somewhere. Tonight, we follow it. There are places, moments, and states of consciousness where the boundary between the living and the dead thins to the width of a single breath. You felt it before, even if you didn't have the language for it. A pressure in the room, a sudden awareness behind you, a name that arises in your mind that was never yours to speak. We call this the veil, not a wall, not a barrier, but a membrane, permeable, responsive, alive in its own way. Tonight, we're stepping closer to it. Before we begin, prepare yourself internally, not with candles or symbols, but with stillness. Crossing the veil may happen through words alone, and if you allow it, it will change you. Ask someone whether they believe in spirits and they hesitate. Ask whether they've ever felt someone in an empty room and they answer instantly, always yes. This is called the felt presence. It happens because the veil thins most easily through emotion, grief, love, longing, fear, memory, the things that connect human lives. There is a saying in the old traditions, when the living remember too loudly, the dead hear them. Consider the moments in your life when someone you loved was gone, yet suddenly near. The dream that felt too vivid, the scent of their perfume rising in a still room, a warmth against your shoulder, a voice forming inside your mind before you could dismiss it. These are bleed-throughs, the veil reacting to you. The veil is not a doorway, it is a shift in perception. Ancient mystics understood it as the echo of human consciousness shaped by memory. Occultists call it a field where intention meets attention. And modern neuroscience observes the same thing without admitting it. In states of contemplation, your brain becomes both receiver and sender, a threshold between worlds. This is why the veil moves, because you do. Liminal spaces are the physical places where the veil feels closest. Staircases, doorways, empty streets at twilight, hotel rooms at 3 a.m, places where you are neither here nor there. The Romans called them crossing points. They belonged to no one, living or dead, and anyone who lingered too long risked a visitation. You know these spaces intimately. You've stood in them. You felt that strange hum. The veil thins because something is remembering you. People ask why the dead reach through. The truth is simple, for the same reason the living do. Connection. Not all spirits are lost, confused, or unfinished. Some linger because their love outlived their body. Some because their story refuses to end. Some because they are guardians, ancestors, witnesses who watch over the living line. The veil thins from both sides, and when the dead remember you, you feel it. Crossing the veil is not dangerous because of spirits. It is dangerous because of people. The living rush in seeking answers without asking whether they're ready for truth. They want voices but have not learned to listen. They want signs but have not learned interpretation. They want closure, yet closure does not always survive death. The danger is not what might reach back. The danger is what you might see in yourself. The veil reflects the unresolved, the unspoken, the forgotten pieces of your inner world. This is why so many traditions warn against crossing too quickly. You must approach with respect and clarity, not fear, not obsession. Understanding the veil begins with learning its language. Spirits rarely speak in full sentences. Their communication comes through sensation, symbol, and emotion. A sudden chill, a pressure in the chest, an image that arrives in your mind like a memory that was never yours, a name forming without thought. These are transmissions. The dead speak in resonance. They speak in association. They speak in metaphor. The living must learn to interpret without forcing meaning. Pay attention to what arises gently. Messages across the veil behave like ink spreading in water. You don't push it, you let it bloom. Dreams are the most natural point of contact, not the chaotic ones, the lucid ones, the symbolic ones, the ones where someone you lost sits beside you, speaking as clearly as they did in life. The ones where you wake with tears on your face and a message lingering like fog. Cultures across the world agree, dreams are the meeting ground. The equal territory, the place where the dead don't have to fight to reach you. When you wake with the sense that someone was still in the room, the veil simply hadn't closed. Certain places seem permanently thin: hospitals, funeral homes, old battlefields, bedrooms where someone passed quietly in the night. Not haunted, permeable, not cursed, remembered. Every birth opens the veil for a moment. Every death does the same. Transitions leave a trace, an impression, a lingering resonance. You feel these things not because you imagine them, but because you're standing close enough to sense what remains. If you want to approach the veil safely, there are 3 rules. First, do not cross with a chaotic mind. Noise becomes distortion. Distortion becomes fear. Fear becomes confusion. Second, never demand. Only invite. The veil is not a stage, and the dead are not performers. You meet them as equals, not as conjurers or commanders. Third, close the interaction when it's over, not with dramatic phrases, but with intention. Gratitude is the strongest boundary you possess. The dead respect boundaries. They respect clarity, and they respect those who understand themselves. Most people believe that the veil surrounds them, but the truth is far more intimate. The veil is within you. It lives in your intuition, the instinct that warns you or comforts you. It lives in your memory, in the place where the dead remain alive in echoes. It lives in your inner sense of meaning, the quiet knowing that something more exists. Crossing the veil is not about touching death. It is about touching the deeper layers of life. Every time you feel watched in an empty room, you are sensing truth. Every time a presence rises behind you without explanation, you are remembering something ancient inside yourself. Every time a dream feels like a visitation, it probably is. Tonight you didn't just learn about the veil, you crossed it softly from within. As you return to your world, understand this. The veil does not close simply because you stop listening. It remains thin for those who pay attention, for those who honor intuition, for those who remember. The dead do not return to frighten you. They return to remind you that nothing truly ends. Not love, not memory, not consciousness, not the bond between worlds. This is Arcana de Mortis. This has been another passage into the strange, the sacred, and the unseen. I am your host, Liliana Graves, guiding you through the shadows with a steady flame. Until next time, keep your lantern lit and your spirit open.